Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. The official teaser trailer for Spiral, the ninth film in the Saw franchise, was just released this morning, and I'm really curious to check it out. I've been a pretty big fan of the Saw franchise since its inception. That first film was so unique at the time, and honestly, still is unique. And even the first few sequels kind of broke new ground in the genre, and I thought they were enjoyable, for what they are. Things definitely petered off a bit in the later sequels, but I honestly liked the latest, which was Jigsaw back in 2017. I haven't been following the production of this new one too closely, but I've heard it's supposed to be a slightly different take on the franchise, so let's check it out.
What do you got there?
Oh, it's just my wife, Emma. This is my son, Charlie.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, last.
Nothing happier than the wife of a new detective.
Emma's cool, man. She's different. You don't know my wife.
You give a woman 600 Tuesdays. It ain't worth 3 Saturday nights.
How much money you got? A lot.
It's like a buddy cop movie.
A lot. How many people have died? A lot.
All available units, officer down.
Pray that you flop.
Detective Banks en route.
Didn't really look like a trap.
Whoever did this has another motive. They're targeting cops.
Definitely seems like Seven.
This shit's gonna go sideways fast.
Someone's out there pulling all the strings.
What's in the box?
You wanna play games, motherfucker?
So that actually seems pretty good. I guess I don't mean to sound so surprised because I do like this franchise, and I've liked the trailers for previous films, but that's coming from somebody who's already invested in the franchise, and so this seems like one that could be more accessible even to people who aren't already into the Saw franchise. I think it has a really good tone to it. It has that sort of police procedural detective side of things, but it also has the seemingly more psychological thriller aspects. So I was definitely picking up on some serious Seven vibes while this one was going. Especially in the beginning, the tone and kind of just some of the interactions among the characters remind me of that. And then they were clearly going for that though, because they had that shot of Chris Rock's character opening up a box or working on opening it which is clearly a reference to Seven. But this one seems like kind of a mix between that film Seven and sort of where this particular franchise actually got its start. Because in the first Saw movie, obviously there was the whole basement bathroom Saw stuff going on, but there was also a whole detective kind of mystery element of it too. And so I think this seems like it's kind of taking both of those pieces and putting it together, but making something very different and very new. This is definitely not like any of the other Saw movies, and I think it looks great as a result. Like even somebody who actually really likes the Saw franchise, I'm not disappointed in this trailer. It's not like I'm like, oh, where's all the blood and gore and the traps? Like, I'm sure there's going to be some stuff, but I think it's kind of taking it in a different direction. And I'm really curious to see what that direction is, because this doesn't appear to be a direct sequel to either Jigsaw or any of the other films that are already in the franchise, but it doesn't seem like it's a reboot either. So I'm really, really curious to see, because we don't get a ton of really direct connections to any of the other films. There was no mention of John Kramer. We didn't see Billy the clown. So some of those, we didn't hear him laugh. So some of those things that you really are like anticipating from a Saw movie, we didn't get, at least in this trailer. And so that might be to kind of market this as something on its own, something separate to draw people in, and perhaps there's going to be those connections. There's definitely still some minor connections and sort of homages. Obviously, the most obvious is the ending shot of this trailer with Chris Rock's character handcuffed to the pipe with the saw, clearly referencing the first Saw film. But even the name, right, Spiral, and seeing those spiral patterns painted on, that car or on the wall, that's the spiral that's on Billy the Clown's face. And we learn in the previous film in Jigsaw that kind of this spiral trap thing was the first trap that John Kramer ever built. So clearly there's some significance to the spiral, and I'm sure we're gonna kind of get into that and learn that throughout this film, but I'm really interested to see that. And I'm very pleasantly surprised with this. I think Chris Rock's involvement seems kind of weird at first, but I think it actually is gonna really work. It's something we've been seeing sort of time and time again, especially as of late, that, people who are comedians or involved with comedy really make that transition to horror pretty well. We had, Jordan Peele, very much a comedian, but directing Get Out and Us, which were both really great kind of horror psychological thriller movies. We had John Krasinski with A Quiet Place, and now A Quiet Place 2. And so I think Chris Rock starring, and it said at the beginning that he's also producing this film. So I think that's a really interesting thing, and I'm really curious to see where that leads and how that actually works out for him. So I'm kind of all in on this movie now. I was sort of interested, again, being a fan of the franchise, but I wasn't really psyched for it, but I'm genuinely excited for this movie now. So that's just my take on the trailer, but what did you guys think? Are you excited for this new direction, this new take that they're taking the Saw franchise? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment or insight out of this trailer reaction, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe or add it to see more videos like this, as well as movie reviews. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.